Welcome to The Drive, your commute-sized podcast powered by the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce and ITA Group. In the time it takes to get across the metro, you'll gain fresh insights from Iowa's top leaders, CEOs, innovators, and changemakers who are shaping the future of business. I'm your host, Katherine Harrington, and each week we'll explore leadership, loyalty, and the big ideas that keep our region moving forward. Welcome, everybody, to this episode of The Drive. We're so excited to see you today. We have Richard Green, who is CEO of DMOS. DMOS, for those of you who do not know, stands for Des Moines Orthopedic Surgeons. Thank you so much, Richard, for being here.
Super excited. Yeah, you bet.
Oh my gosh. Well, update us on DMOS and all the great things happening at DMOS.
We are really excited about our future and our growth. We've opened up, so I think since we last talked a few years back, we've opened up 3 more clinics.
Congrats.
And it's all about access for patients, having that close to them where they can get in.
Nice.
We've added 7 doctors to our group in the last 2 years. We have some of our fine, stalwart Mount Vesuvius of physicians that are retiring. They've all been there 30 years plus, are all retiring, and we've successfully recruited 7 of them, which is fantastic.
That's a huge story.
We built out a whole trauma team, which is something that we've had in the past, but we really said with healthcare being where it is and with Des Moines being the epicenter of the state for a lot of the healthcare needs, we need to support that. So we've hired a couple of trauma surgeons and built a team out there, and done a lot of really cool things with having places for people to get their musculoskeletal care. So
I hear a lot about it's hard to recruit doctors to Iowa. How were you able to recruit 7 doctors?
You know,
that's a huge success story.
It is a big number. And a lot of it has to do with ties to the state.
Okay.
So some do, but really the momentum that Central Iowa has built in the last 10 to 15 years has really shown. 3 of our doctors are not from here. They looked us up on the list, the U.S. U.S. News and World Report, Newsweek, and top 10 places to live and things like that, and said, that looks like a pretty nice place. I don't want to work in Chicago or L.A. or these big cities. Des Moines looks like a good place to be. Recent legislation with tort reform really helped out, and some things like that. But once we get them in and explain the process and they start to see the culture that we have, we're pretty successful in bringing folks in. So it was an undertaking for sure.
Oh yeah, that's just
huge. We're able to
huge.
get them there.
And they're raising families, probably they're younger
They're all young.
doctors.
These are all the 32-year-olds and with a couple kids, 3
amazing.
kids. And we really tell them when they make the decision, this is a life decision. This isn't like I'm going to take a job and then jump to another one. Yeah. We want you here for a very, very long time. And they're impressed, I think, too, with when they come in, one of their first questions is, why is there an opening? So, the doctor that was here for 32 years before you is now retiring. didn't want to leave. And they look at the roster of how long our guys have been there, and they find stability in that, I think, and comfort.
That's incredible. That is such a great story. I mean, I remember Governor Reynolds talking about this and how hard it is to recruit doctors. So that's a really, I hope you're shouting that out to the rooftops.
Work with the partnership, work with West Des Moines, work with all the different cities on bringing them in and showing them the highlights. That's
such a great story. So tell us about your new facilities then.
Well, we opened up Urbandale last year, and we're opening Norwalk up next year.
Oh, great. Growing
We've got our West Des Moines headquarters. It's been there since 1994. What we're going for is we call micro clinics, more of a smaller clinic that's got a lot of access. So we have urgent injury clinics in all of our smaller locations. We have physical therapy in our smaller locations. We have them everywhere, but that's really the emphasis is a consumer, if you will, can choose to come see us for their musculoskeletal needs and walk right in instead of having to make an appointment and do things like that.
And we have an aging population. I know a lot of people are getting new hips, new knees, new whatevers. So is demand getting more as the population ages?
Yeah, we're seeing a big shift in healthcare from a hospital base to a surgery center. They call it a shift inside a service. And we have 2 surgery centers that we run, one in Ankeny and one in West Des Moines. And we've doubled the number of joints that we do from 24 to 25. We'll double it again in 26, and we'll continue to do that. We show that the cost of care is less expensive in a surgery center. Patients go home the same day, and they like that.
Love that, of course.
And it unburdens the hospital so they can focus on the really, really sick people.
Yeah. Gosh. Well, how do you stay competitive with all of your competition in the region?
In the region?
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy. But I think it's focus on what your strategic plan is and don't get sidetracked with, hey, they're doing this or they're doing that. Have your goals, have your plan. And ours has always been access. And we've had a 5-6 year journey of building up all the infrastructure to be able to provide that. And we do now. So we view ourselves as a market leader in access.
Wow. That's so cool. So you've been leader of DMOS for how many years now?
In this role, 3. Previous to that, I was 6. So I've been there on this administrative journey since 2017.
2017,
But I was with DMOS as a PT from 94 to 2006 or so. So I've been there a long time.
I love that legacy. That's so neat. Yeah. So PT to CEO. That's really neat.
It's non-traditional, but it's really helpful.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I love that. So my goodness, let's talk about innovation within your organization. We've got AI, all these amazing things that are tools. How are you leveraging that for patient care and for anything?
Great question. So you always talk about the patient experience and what's the first visit, right? What's the first appointment? Well, we've shifted that to the first appointment occurs when you're at home and you're on your phone and you want to access care. Yeah. You're at night. You're sitting there at night after work or sitting at your desk and your knee hurts and I need to see somebody. Well, they should be able to get on their phone, look it up, find their person, do everything they can do. So we've invested heavily in providing that digital pathway for patients to be able to look us up, schedule an appointment online, do a virtual visit 24/7. So if they want to talk to somebody, a human, or do a video call, they can do that 24/7. Nice. And then if they make an appointment, they do everything else digitally via checking in and insurance and payment and things like that. So if that's a really solid experience for a patient, for a consumer,
easy,
then it's going to continue to do that as we go down the road.
Yeah.
So from that access point, there's been a lot of innovation. AI's been really fun to watch. It has been. It's scary in what could be done. I'll give you an example what we do with it, though. So we put AI on all of our X-ray reads in our urgent injury clinics.
Oh.
So we have I don't like to use the term mid-level. We have physician assistants and nurse practitioners that are specially trained in musculoskeletal health to evaluate all these patients.
Right.
The data shows us that 80% of the patients that see an orthopedic surgeon don't need or have surgery.
Oh.
So if 80% of the people don't need or have surgery, why'd they wait 3 weeks to get in?
Yeah.
Let's have you walk in an urgent injury clinic. We'll get you done first, right?
Yeah.
But with that, the PAs and the nurse practitioners have experience reading x-rays, but not as much as a physician has experience. So when they read an x-ray as negative, we have a system now. They hit a button and AI overreads it as a 97.6% accuracy rate to show if they miss something.
Oh, it's a double check.
It's a double check. And it's worked phenomenally well for us.
Whoa. Have you seen something you think, here's one where we need to...
And it's great immediate feedback for the practitioner to say, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Because then the next time they're going to find it.
Yes.
Right. And I think that's where in our vertical in musculoskeletal health, the AI is really going to be utilized there in MRIs and X-rays and things like that because we do so many of them.
Yeah, volume is probably tremendous, right? And
think about how many MRIs are done across the country in a year. Holy cow.
So that's great to have a second look, a second take on that diagnosis. And huge. That's really huge. That's really, I love that. So we're going to talk a little bit about leadership and your leadership since you've been a leader at DMOS for a long time. So you are a large, how many employees do you have, by the way?
328. Actually, we hired one today, so 328.
Okay, 320.
I told you 27 earlier, but I just thought about that.
I love that. You're exact to the. I love that. That's so wonderful. So you have a large organization that you run. What's one leadership lesson from your career that continues to guide you today that you really still lean on? That's something that's important to you.
Be curious.
Oh, I love that.
And that came up for the Ted Lasso part.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
But being curious and not jumping to judgment. I think you couple that with your listening skills, and we're always having to learn how to listen.
Yeah. That
really helps. In physical therapy, they tell you when you're taking a history from a patient, what's wrong? If you listen intently enough, you'll get the diagnosis 90-something% of the time without touching them. Yeah. Just doing the special tests and things like that just confirms what you thought when you listened to them. And if you apply that to employee situations, doctor situations, business situations, and you listen, you're going to come out with usually the most accurate things that you can dials you can turn to be able to solve the answer. So those two things are really big for us.
We have a saying within Leadership Academy: be curious, not furious.
Correct.
Because you never
Correct.
know. Just never know what's going on.
Yeah.
So how do you keep your team inspired, supported, connected to the mission and
It's a great question.
serving
It
patients?
really, when we're proud of this, we've got a very low turnover rate.
Nice.
We have a healthy turnover rate. It's about 11% or so, and you need that. But we have a pretty high retention rate, I should say, of people that stick around.
Nice.
We have invested heavily in our culture. The culture of DMOS has always been there. I mean, we're 70 years old now.
Yeah, wow.
And we have many patients that want to continue to come see us, which is fantastic, and we honor that, right? And we've done some things over the last couple of years to really define that culture a little bit better. We've used a program called Culture by Design by David Friedman. We hopped upon it, but what is pretty neat is that it's one thing to say you have a culture. It's another thing to say these are the behaviors you need to exude to demonstrate that culture, right? So we've come up with 26 fundamentals, we call them, or behaviors. One of them is be curious, not judgmental.
Nice.
One of them is be fanatical about response time,
Ooh.
things like that.
Ooh.
And we do it 26 weeks, and then we flip them over and do them another 26 weeks. So it hits you for the whole year. You get a fundamental per week.
Oh,
and we write it on our boards, and we lead our meetings off with it. We do things like that. It doesn't go away. It's something that we keep.
It's always in front of mind. Yeah.
Front of mind, top of mind. We have all of our performance reviews that are based upon our fundamentals.
Love that.
And the thing about culture that I think gets confusing is culture's not a democracy. Culture's a dictatorship. It's dictated by the owners of the company. So when we went through and did our series of culture things, it had to be approved by the board, which was unanimous, and then it's lived from the board down.
I see.
And I think having that in place, we have people come in that really like that. The other thing that I'm really big on is giving people as much autonomy as they can and connect them to the patient. It's easy for an x-ray tech or an ortho tech or a physical therapist to connect the patient because they're right in front of them. It's not as easy to do that with our folks in finance or billing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But being able to tell some of those stories has really been helpful to keep those folks around.
That's really nice. I love that you all did that. That's great. It really guides your everyday work. That's really neat. So what's your leadership philosophy, if you had to say?
Wow, that's a good one. It's a question you get asked a lot. And you got to kind of think about, like, I don't know, I just lead.
I do my thing.
I do my thing every day. I think that any good leader and really is in a servant position. Serve and develop.
Yep.
Set your standard. Serve your people. Develop your people. Understand that the word love is an adjective. I'm going to love you up, which means you may not like what I want to hear, what you're going to hear from us.
So you're very upfront, which is that's really good. I have trouble with that. So
it's not easy.
Coaching, you're a good coach.
It's very hard. I don't even know if I'd say I'm a good coach. I try to be, but it's not an easy thing to do. It's very difficult.
It's really difficult to coach.
We're compassionate people. You don't want to tell someone something they don't want to hear.
Exactly.
And you have to practice it. But I think really serving folks, giving them autonomy, listening, those things are really helpful in a leader.
I love that. That's something I'm trying to work on, being a better coach, because they want the feedback, but it's just so hard for me to give. Do you know what I mean? I'm just, so sensitive.
Sometimes I try writing it down. It's easier in email, but that's so impersonal.
Impersonal. I know. So
it's not an easy thing to do.
Love that. Okay. So let's talk about healthcare innovation. We talked about some of the things, kind of the double checks that you have. Let's talk about innovation in staffing, because we talked about your 7 new doctors and things like that. But innovation in workforce, staffing, culture building. What are some of the things that you can talk around that? And this is about ITA Group, because they do so much within the culture building of companies and organizations.
We start with the foundation, which is the culture. Everybody gets that. The second foundation is when they start with us, everyone goes through an orientation program.
Okay. Oh,
and
nice.
Every one of those 328 people that we hired, 8's going to be next week, has lunch with their manager that day.
Okay. The first day.
First day. So I don't care if you're the least paid employee or the highest paid employee, you have lunch with the manager. And the idea is to form a connection and break down those walls for communication. And we get such great feedback from our folks on, I can't believe you took me to lunch.
Oh.
And we're not going to Burger King, that kind of stuff. We're taking them to a nice lunch.
Yeah.
And it really, that investment is really paid off in that if they can get off to a great start.
That relationship building.
Their relationship builds. 90 days, we have our checkpoints with them.
Yeah.
I'm a wanderer. I'm out wandering around all the time.
Nice.
So I get out and talk to people, chat with people, and I tell our other C-suite, make sure you're not sitting at your desk all day, get out and
Yeah.
walk around and do those things. I think that's critical as well. We do monthly kind of surprise things. We'll have puppy day, we have coffee day, we have fruit brought in the summer once a day. I mean, we do all these little things that just make the work environment not as monotonous as it could be on a daily basis. So, and I think the other part to healthcare is that the folks that are on the front lines taking care of patients get immediate feedback from the patients, right? And that is a really big thing in keeping people in one spot.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, that's really, really cool. So, how do you build loyalty with? I mean, your staff, they stay there a long, long time. So how do you build that loyalty? Obviously, you've got great culture. You're one of the best in the nation at what you do. You're always inventing. You're growing. I mean, you're doing all the right things. But how? I guess how do you build that loyalty? Is that more purposeful, or is it just kind of happens?
Loyalty for our patients or for our people?
Let's do both. Let's do both.
So, for our people, I think one word I haven't brought up is humble. Be humble about what you do. And I think that drives a lot of that loyalty. Listen to people, sit down and listen to what they're saying. High performers eat low performers for lunch. That's where it gets a little tough on the coaching part, is getting everybody up on the same page. So we try to build that high-performing team where everyone is moving in the right direction. Yeah. And that's what goes back to that autonomy. Make them feel like they're bigger than something they've ever been part of before. Yeah. And I think we do a pretty good job of doing that. For our patients building loyalty, it's a great question. Healthcare is moving towards it. We haven't really utilized these terms much, but it's transactional. Okay. It is. If we look at the cost, you look at our payer mix, 60-something% are employer-sponsored health plans. Okay. Employer-sponsored, 60%. So if you have an employer-sponsored health plan at home, you may or may not have had an increase in your cost over the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah. And the employer on their side to mitigate that cost will raise the deductible or raise the copay. So suddenly we have patients that have $5,000 deductibles or $10,000 deductibles. It's a lot out of pocket. It's a lot out of pocket. Yeah. So we want to build a really seamless process from start to finish so that those folks, when they make that transaction, are very comfortable with doing that. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I love that. Okay, so this is more about you, some of your favorite books or podcasts or things that you lean on during the day or evening or morning when you're waking up. I'm a reader.
You're a reader.
I like reading.
I love it. What are some good books you've read lately?
The Captain's Class is one of the best. Okay. I cannot think of the author, but
The Captain's Class, okay.
It was a sports writer in Chicago that looked at every sports dynasty over the last 100 years and found commonalities in each of the captains of those dynasties. And he did this huge research project and came up with 18 different teams and 18 captains, and then the commonalities of the captains. You use that for leadership, like humble, be curious. Carry the water is a big one that we use. You're never too big to carry the water, or carry the bags, or
open up the mail.
Open up the mail, or open the door. Do things like that. That's a really good one. The one I'm reading right now is Making of the Modern Elder. So we talk about mentors, but what happens when all those mentors retire? Yeah. Right now you're losing a lot of, and this transition from mentor to elder and what that means. Ooh. It's kind of a fun essay.
That's interesting. And I've noticed in our region, we have a lot of people retiring that are the giants of our community.
Absolutely.
Like, as Jay Byers used to say, we're standing on the shoulders of giants, right? That was one of Jay's favorite quotes, and God bless his soul, rest his soul. But, and so I just think of all of that legacy that is now retiring and no longer, day to day with us. So
we started keeping them advisory council that are non-physicians that bring in some of those elders.
Oh, really?
And it's been fantastic for us to kick ideas off of. And
so do they talk to the board? Do they talk to the physicians? Who do they talk to?
They talk to Dr. Honkamper, board president, and myself. Okay. Any of the boards welcome to go. Okay. We haven't had them speak quite yet to the board, but we'll probably look at that in the spring. It's been a great way to get an outside view of things.
Yes. How many people attend that usually?
We have 5 that are advisory members.
Love
and
it.
It's just Dr. Honkamp and I. We come up with a agenda and chat about things that are affecting our organization. It's great to get perspectives of different ones. Yeah.
I love that. That is really, really great. Very intimate, too. That's really neat. Okay, what's one quirky habit or routine that fuels your success? We're on the drive, so a lot of puns. Fuels.
Sure.
Fuels your success. I don't know, something that you do as a CEO that helps you.
Every morning there's a list. Two things. Every morning there's a list.
Okay, how do you do your list? How do you make your list?
That's pretty much just
Piece of
free
paper?
piece of paper
And a pen.
freewheeling. Yeah.
Okay, on a piece of paper. Okay, or is
Yeah.
it do a booklet? I have so many questions about like list building.
Just a
Okay.
piece of paper. Very
Okay.
something simple that you can say, okay, these are the things I'm going to focus on. If you hit them day one, you hit them day two. It was,
Okay.
I can't think it was a general, I can't think, he has postcards that he does that on every day. And then he keeps those. I don't keep my list. I throw them, but he keeps the postcards to show what he accomplished and be able to look back on those over a year or so. I think it's McChrystal. I think it's Stanley McChrystal did that. Anyway, lists are big ones for me. Sunday is the day to kind of get the week ready. And then Sunday night is to shut the engines down so that the rest of the week we can get something accomplished.
I like that. I notice a lot of CEOs send emails on Sundays. I notice that quite a bit. Everybody's got the routine. I do my list on my iPhone, and I use the icons to prioritize how important it is in that list, because there's a million icons on my iPhone, right?
Sure,
so
absolutely.
I'm just really scared one day
fun.
I'm going to delete that list and that I will be useless and I won't know what I'm going to be doing in the next year.
Yeah.
So, okay, what's your 30-second prediction for the future of orthopedic care 5 years from now?
We are going to see a tremendous shift from the hospital and in the surgery centers and things like that. We'll see
Because of
more
costs?
Because of cost and quality, and that
accessibility.
Hospitals need to really focus on sick patients, what they're doing with the sick patients. We will see more virtual options in 5 years. We'll see more tech involved in 5 years. Seeing that already with your Apple Watch and your heart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We'll see that tech going. So there's definitely a future world where you have a lot of things at home that help you diagnose things.
Yeah. Like, do you need a new knee? Maybe there's some apparatus you put on your knee and you move your knee 5 times. Yep. Go to DMOS today.
The nice
I don't know.
The nice part about orthopedics is we have to touch a patient.
You need the doctors.
Yeah. You can only do so much virtually.
Okay. Yeah. You never know. Or maybe you walk into a booth and it'll scan you and you're like, okay, you better go to the doctor now.
Yeah,
DMOS needs to fix many things. Okay, so we're on the Drive podcast. So talk about your first car, first funny story with your car, any memorable car stories you might have, just to entertain us.
My first car was a Nissan Stanza.
Oh, a Stanza. I remember
those cars?
I do.
And I work at a ballpark, and I'm driving it to the ballpark. I thought I got a heck of a deal on it. My mom and dad were like, it sounds like too big of a deal, but we'll let you do it. So we bought it.
Nice.
Thing goes out, and we found out that this was before Carfax and everything else, right?
So
you
couldn't do your research.
Yeah. It was at the bottom of a lake. And they pulled it out, cleaned it off, and then sold it. Yeah.
No.
So that was my
work
first
very
car.
well.
Yeah. I was like, great.
You open up the door, a fish flies out.
Well, they cleaned the thing up. It looked wonderful, right? But you can imagine what the engine was like.
There's a minnow underneath the seat.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, that's hilarious. All right, closing and takeaway. What's one piece of advice you offer leaders inside of healthcare, outside of healthcare, about building an organization that serves its community?
Oh, that's a great question. Be humble and be involved.
Yeah.
Be humble and be involved.
You are involved.
We try to be. Give back. Always give back. Don't underestimate the importance of a small meeting, of a chance meeting, of those things. Because that connection's important.
What are some of your favorite charities that you support in the city or region or state?
United Way is a big one that DMOS works with. You caught me off guard there because we don't think about that much. We've actually kicked the idea around about having a foundation of some sort, and you may see that in the future.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. We'll see if we get to that.
I love that.
Eventually.
We just built a foundation for the chamber.
Yeah.
We have a 501c3 that I'm president of as well. So we have a separate board of trustees, advisory committee. It's huge. It's taken off. We're doing some really cool things. So
That's great.
I highly recommend. It's a fun journey. It took me a long time to get that piece of paperwork though from the IRS, the official 501c3 paperwork. I got it right before the shutdown. I was like, yay.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. Thank you, Harold, from the IRS.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Way to go, Harold.
We became best friends. Yeah, we talked a lot. But anyway, so this has been such a joy, Richard. Thank you so much for all that you do for your community.
You bet.
Really, really appreciate it. And you personally have helped me and my family many times over. So we appreciate you and all the doctors and the care that you have. It's really phenomenal. It's impeccable. So thank you, Richard. So
thank you.
Appreciate you, and we appreciate your support of the West Des Moines Chamber. You are
absolutely
a very highly valued investor member. So thank you for that.
Glad we're part of it. It's fun to watch.
It's an honor. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this episode of The Drive and listening to all the great stories and legacy that Richard Green has created. So enjoy the rest of your day. The West is yet to come. Bye, y'all. The Drive, fast, fresh, and full of ideas for the leaders of today and tomorrow.